Okay, welcome to the special event held by University of Sydney. This is a global graduate series we are having, and I am Associate Professor Sunghoon Kim. Okay, so this is me, and what you see beside my picture is a beautiful campus of University of Sydney. Um, University of Sydney is the oldest university in Australia, and we do have this beautiful campus, beautiful building. If you join us, I hope you have a chance to join us. You can enjoy this beautiful flowers of jacaranda in front of this building. So I am associate professor, and I am currently the program director for Master of Human Resource Management and Industrial Relations at the University of Sydney Business School. This is my roughly 20 years in this profession of teaching and researching in the area of human resource management and industrial relations. And this has been my favorite subject in my early days of tertiary education. It became my job. I'm really enjoying doing this. I hope you can see the joy and excitement of learning more about this industrial relations and human resource management like I did. For those who are joining this session overseas here means outside Australia. And if you haven't a chance to live in Australia, this might be a bit new thing for you. Here in Australia, in many public events, we start our event by giving this acknowledgement to the custodian and the original owner of the land. University of Sydney is sitting on the Gadigal people's land, and we really respect their caring of this country. So today's session is about the career and industry opportunities in human resource management and industrial relations. Probably you have different range of understanding and experience on this issue and this profession of human resource management and industrial relations. I have limited time to discuss this, so I cannot cover every aspect of human resource management and this relations as a profession and as an industry opportunities. But I'd like to highlight a few very important changes that is happening in this area over the last 20 or so years. And I'll discuss how we can prepare ourselves for those changes. Here, I'd like to summarize these major changes happening in this profession with three keywords. One is devolution, the second was digitization, and the third is data-driven decision-making. This is 3Ds, and they are all interrelated concept, and they actually interact with each other, but each keyword has its own, its own big shift of the profession as we see today. So the first major changes we are seeing in the profession of human resource management and industrial relations is what we call devolution. The devolution here means in the past, human resource management or industrial relations activities are sort of viewed as something HR professionals and industrial relations professionals do. It is the job of HR, the recruiting, hiring, performance management, performance appraisal, and all those process-related HR issues. It was viewed as the job of HR. But what we have seen over the last 20 years is the devolution of those activities to the line managers. The actual job of finding good new people, attracting them and deciding who to be joined in the organization, how to evaluate and manage performance and what kind of pay arrangement we should give, the actual decision makings are now done on everyday basis, done by managers who are by definition not HR professionals. So HR activities are out there, and is the range and scope of HR activities has been growing over the last 20 years. However, it is no longer a job mainly done by HRIR professionals, but the task itself, hiring and developing and paying and evaluating all those major HR activities are done by managers. And HR professionals are now in the position of providing support and providing insight and providing training to those who actually make daily decisions of HR. So that is the phenomenon called devolution of HR. HR is now devolved to the line managers. So that's one big change we have seen over the last 20 or 30 years. The second major shift in the profession of HR and IR is digitization. Of course, digitization started many decades ago, right? So maybe some of you never seen with your eyes, never seen a time when there's no cell phone. But believe it or not, there was no cell phone, right? Even before the cell phone, there wasn't digitization happened. The idea of digitization or electronic data processing that is being used for HR decisions, that began in actually 1950s. So digitization is not just one-time thing that happens over the last several years. It took more than 7 decades to see how it evolves. So digitization is a process. But as you all know, this digitization has been expedited dramatically with the emergence of AI technologies and these mobile technologies that really pushes this area into a new era. So digitization of HR process and industrialization process is a big shift. In the past, HR professionals need to deal with some of the process issues of HR. Now, digitization automated many aspects of HR functions that has been done by HR professionals. So it really shifted the nature of HR profession and this relation profession. And third one is data-driven decision-making. So it is related to digitization of HR process. Digitization means a lot of information about HR personnel, the human resources has been generated and stored and being distributed. So now data is available more widely. That means you have ways to make decisions based on the data. And evidence-based decision-making is really something that gives a lot of attention. So that shapes the required capabilities and required capacities of HR professionals today. Here I prepared a few real-world examples of job description of HR IR jobs. So the first example that I am showing you is a head of human resources of OECD. OECD is an international organization. You may have heard about the UN, United Nations is like a UN, but it's a club of more high-income countries. There are about 30 countries members of this international organization. It's headquartered in Paris. So this job advertisement actually came out just several weeks ago. So it is very, very current job opening in OECD. So they are looking for head of human resource management. And this is the description of the job. The head of HRM is accountable for all aspects of corporate HR management, including the development and implementation of HR policies, practices, and strategies in support of organization's goal. They play a key leadership role in designing and delivering strategic, simplified, efficient, and timely services, enhancing accountability, responsiveness, engagement, and employee satisfaction. They will lead the re-engineering of key HR processes with a view to increasing efficiencies and effectiveness. The head of HR is a team player, both within and across the organization and its stakeholders. So this is a job description they actually posted publicly. Here, I think you can see these three changes happened over the years. So the first, devolution of HR activities. Devolution of HR activities means the effective HR professionals should be able to work with line managers. And if you are at the level of head of HR, you should be able to work with other decision-making executives of the organization. You should be able to work with the marketing executive. You should be able to talk to the CEO directly. You should be able to work with all as the leaders of the organization. That's what this job description is, I think, is saying. So this head of HR should be able to set HR, not just for HR, but the organization's goal. So they should have the strategic perspective to see how this HR is related to the organizational level goals. So that is being required. So HR profession is not just doing functional work of hiring and firing and paying. And they are working with strategic leaders of the organization to help organization to achieve its goals. And the second, digitization. Well, this job description doesn't say explicitly, but you can see this re-engineering of key corporate HR processes. Here, let me highlight it. So what you see is this need to lead the re-engineering of HR processes. As of 2022, it normally means the introduction of new digital solutions and digital processes, automated process of HR delivery. So you should be able to know how to do that. And the third, data-driven decision-making. Because of this availability of data, your decision-making should be efficient and should be in high quality. So that's data-driven, evidence-based decision-making. So you already see the changes are reflected in this job description. The qualification for that is minimum of 10 years experience. Of course, this is head position. And as you can see, on the best university degree or equivalent qualification in human resource management, industry relations, or related discipline is required. And they even said Master of Business Administration would be an asset. That means you should have in-depth knowledge and experience of human resource management, but you also should be able to talk to the strategic leaders of the organization. You should be able to use their language to influence them. This is another example of HR job. This is a consulting job, a human capital consultant in Deloitte. Again, this is a real one that is posted by Deloitte recently. So this is a consulting job. So what they do is to help organization to do a better HR. So as an HR consultant, you should be able to serve the client, and you should be able to help client to have futuristic HR, or you should be able to solve the problem they have. And of course, if you want to do it well, you should be able to work with clients, line managers, and strategic leaders of the organization. So you should be able to understand their agenda. You should be able to speak the language of the business leaders. And as you can see, literacy of digital technology is now standard. And also, you should be able to present your case in a very persuasive way that means you should have evidence-based thinking skills. And as a consultant, yes, bachelor's degree, of course, is required. And also as consultant for human capital related issues, you should have knowledge and understanding about human capital management. And the third example, this is a business partner, HR business partner. That's the term we now use very often, HR business partner in Google. So to be an effective HR business partner in Google, they say you should be able to build a relationship with executive business leaders to offer thought leadership on organization and people-related strategy. They very explicitly say this. So as a business HR business partner, your main job, your first job is not just do the decision making of who to choose, who not to choose, who to pay how much more. The very important thing for you is to build the relationship with the executive business leaders, and you should be able to work with them, because now the detailed decisions of HR activities will be done by leaders, and you should be able to help them do a good job of HR decision making. And you should be able to design a new system. You should be able to solve the problem. And as you can see in the third, sorry. The data use and request data strategically. So Google obviously has a lot of systems to collect data inside the organization. You should be able to use the data strategically, and you should be able to make evidence-based decisions. Qualification they are saying is, of course, bachelor's degree, master's degree preferred, and ability to work with the challenges and ability to work with ambiguity. And as you can see, demonstrate analytical and problem-solving skills, because that is what HR is doing, analysis and problem-solving. Okay, and the final example, this is industrial officer. Industrial officer in Australian context is about the position that is responsible for representing members of the unions. So this is industrial relations job example. And industrial officer should know well about the workplace restructures and dispute that's happening about work health and safety issues, and collective dispute about all sort of enterprise agreement awards. Awards is very Australian terminology. If you join the program, you will learn about it. And individual matters concerning unfair dismissal, general protections, discrimination, and bullying, enterprise bargaining negotiations. This is industrial relations field. If you want to be a really effective industrial officer who contribute to this industrial relations process, you should be able to work with those who go through workplace restructures. Workplace restructure is not just hiring and firing and protecting jobs. It is about the understanding of the whole business. And you should be able to work with managers who have different perspective agenda. And of course, now a lot of information that have impact on industrial dispute is coming in the form of digital data. And you should be able to know how to use it, and you should be able to present evidence-based case to help the person, the union members, or any stakeholders you want to help. And what is being required, you should have good experience in industrial relations, of course, because this is industrial relations job, and desirable qualification include tertiary qualification. So I have shown you 4 examples of the real jobs. These are all job openings, so You can Google and find, and you can actually apply for the job. So these are the job. These are the people the industry is looking look forward to fill. And as you can see, these three major changes are affecting the way a job is being shaped. So the evolution of HR activities that has happened over the last 20, 30 years requires HR professionals and industry relation professionals to be able to put HR in a broader context. So it's not just understanding small, minor decisions of HR industry relations. You should be able to understand it in a broader context. And digitization of HR processes, industry relation processes, you cannot avoid it. So you should be able to acquire and update your digital literacy on HR processes. And evidence-based thinking, analytical thinking skills is critical because things are being changed day by day, and there will be data to help you to make better decisions. And if you have skills to understand and organize the data and make decisions based on the data, you will be a really effective HR professionals. Okay, given these changes happening in the industry, what we can do, well, you should prepare yourself for it. And of course, there are several different ways to prepare for the changes happening in the job. But one good way to do it is to join a program that is designed to help you to prepare for the job. And I would say our program is one of those really good programs. So Master of Human Resource Management Industry Relations at Sydney University, we have 1.5 years a master program. And this program is designed to prepare you for the future of the job, not only today's job. What university is good at is to help students to build the skills that you will carry with you for the rest of the life. So we will provide the skills and knowledge that will be useful just today and tomorrow. Yes, we provide a lot of skills for that, but also we provide skills and knowledge that will help you to be a leader of the organization, and that will help you throughout the career. Our program is accredited by Australian Human Resource Institute. Well, as a director of the program, this is not really I'd like to advertise highly because this is such, it's so natural. A program like us is a leading program. So, well, if it is small universities, obscure program, it might be a big thing, but for us, it's very natural to get this accreditation. So this is just additional layer of the assurance that our program is what industry partners think we should provide for the job. And we have award-winning programs built into our program, that is Careers and Employment Office program. There's a really interesting program called Job Smart program, and some of the internship opportunities offered to a really effective student. And this is the structure of our program. So there are several things that I'm really proud of. One of those is this advanced core unit. Core unit here in University of Sydney means the compulsory unit, the unit that you have to take to get the degree. And here in University of Sydney, we use the language unit. So in other universities, it may be called course or subject, we call it a unit. So if you go through Master of Industrial Relations Human Resource Management at University of Sydney, you have to go through foundational unit and 3 advanced unit. emerging challenges in work and IR, human resource strategies, and HR data insight, and the final core unit, which is capstone. So our program decided to have HR data insight as a compulsory core unit, which is interestingly, is still rare in master level human resource management program in other universities. It's kind of interesting why they talk about having this as their core unit, but maybe they do not have enough resources to have it as a core. We have it because we believe this is necessary for future leaders in this field of human resource management, this relation. So now we require all our industrial and human resource management students to have at least some level of understanding of HR data insight. And we design and deliver human resource strategy unit in a way that it helps you to build a perspective, kind of broad perspective of human resource management, so that you can be someone who can work with business leaders in your organization as an effective HR professional. So it's not just about HR. It is about how to put HR in the broader business context. So this really get at the first point that I made at the beginning of the presentation. And there will be a range of elective options you can choose from. And depending on your needs and preference and intellectual curiosity, you can choose from this long list of electives. Our program is different from some of other programs, similar programs in other Australian universities, in the sense that we are offering this program as a specialized master program. So some other universities, they offer master level education of human resource management, but oftentimes it's just part of the Master of Commerce, for instance. It has its own advantage. I wouldn't say that's really a bad idea. However, if you are taking the education in that way, there's a limit of the depth you can build. So in our program, spending a year and a half here, you actually build very, very strong background in human resource management and industrial relations that will help you to become really effective professional. Okay, and if you join us, you will be getting a degree from University of Sydney and University of Sydney Business School. What you learn from the program, the specific particular program is important, but the name of the university you get will follow you during the rest of your life. Actually, it is very important things to consider. So University of Sydney is one of the best universities in the world. It is consistently included in the top 50 universities in every major ranking system in the world. So by having a degree from University of Sydney, you can easily say, I studied in one of the best universities in the world. Okay, and internship, I wouldn't give much details here, but some of you will be really interested in knowing more about the internship opportunities. We work with industry partners in Sydney. Some of the partners include really well-known employers like major consulting companies or major nonprofit government organizations. It is not for everyone, but some those who take this opportunity, what they will get is invaluable. Okay, and there's a Job Smart Employability Program we introduced a few years ago, and it turns out to be a really, really successful program that really helps our student to prepare for the job. And this will help you to build very specific actionable skills for your job. So unlike undergrad program, postgrad program should be able to support our student for their next job seeking opportunities. So we prepared for this. Okay, and scholarship, depending on your status, depending on your situation, you may be eligible for different kinds of scholarship, but we do have a list of scholarship opportunities, and we are happy to provide more information if you are interested.